From the bed you sleep on, to the food you eat, to the banks you use daily, even to the data which you are using to watch me right now. Have you ever wondered how much you would have made if you had invested 100,000 naira in companies that you use daily at the beginning of 2025? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 companies that has made people money in this year alone, and how much you would have made if you had invested 100,000 naira at the start of 2025. Quick disclaimer before we dive in: this video is only for educational purpose. It is not financial advice. If you want financial advice, I will recommend you a course that I'm personally taking, which is the Financial Independence with Achie Course. It is a paid course, but you get tips on how to save, how to budget, how to invest, different companies to invest, why you are investing in those companies, and even planning for your retirement. And you can also get one-on-one sessions with a coach where she will teach you how to invest and save and budget based on what you currently earn. So she will give you a tailored investment plan for you alone. So if you are interested in such, click the link in the description. I'll also put it in the comments. Click the link, pay for the course, and learn, because there's a lot of money to be made in the Nigerian stock market. So if you really want to be serious about making money, especially as the year is rounding up and we're entering 2026, then you should quickly register for the course. Don't forget, the link is in the description. Please do not invest in these companies just because I say people have made money. Some of the companies, while they may still be growing up, they may still be seeing massive growth and all, some might draw back, and as a new investor, you are not supposed to be chasing stocks. So if you want specific picks of stocks to invest in part-time, I highly recommend the course, the Financial Independence Achie Course. So sign up with my link in the description and get your finances in order. So let's get into the video for today. So the first company we'll be talking about is Vitafoam, and that is the bed you sleep on. I'm pretty sure that out of every Nigeria home that you go to, let's say if you go to like 10 Nigerian homes, 5 out of those 10 are using Vitafoam. You can check your bed too. Maybe you are part of those 5. So if you had invested money in this company as of January, your money would have seen a 327% increase, because that is how much growth it has seen just in 2025 alone. As of January 2025, a single share was at 23 naira 95 kobo, and currently at the time of shooting this video, a stock was at 94 naira. So that is a 327% increase. So if you had invested 100,000 naira in January 2025 and you had invested only 100,000 naira, by now your money would have been 392,364 naira. That is a profit of 292,000. If you had invested 100,000 naira in Vitafoam alone at the beginning of the year, you would be sitting on almost 400,000 naira. That is more than 3 times your initial investment. The second company I'll be talking about is Wema Bank, which is probably a bank which some Nigerians use. At January 2025, Wema Bank was at 8 naira 9 kobo, and currently Wema Bank is at 20 naira 45 kobo, and it has done over 145% in just the past year alone. So if you had invested 100,000 naira in Wema Bank as of January 2025, your money would have increased to about 229,000 naira. So that is a profit of 129,000 naira. So which means Wema Bank, if you had invested in Wema Bank at the start of the year, your money would have more than doubled the initial investment you put. The third company I'll be talking about is MTN, and MTN is basically a household name in Nigeria. A lot of people use it for making calls, for texting, SMS, and also doing data. So if you had invested 100,000 naira in January 2025, your money would have seen a tremendous growth, because at January 2025, MTN was at 200 naira, while currently it is at 477 naira. So there was a point it even reached above 500. That is like 180% increase in the past year alone. It has done a 180% increase in the past year alone. So if you had invested 100,000 naira alone in this company, you would have been sitting on 238,000 naira. So that's like over doubled your money. You'll be having a profit of 138,000 naira just from that single company. If it was only 100,000 naira you invested, imagine if you had kept putting money continuously into it, you would have seen a massive growth. The next company I'll be talking about is Honeywell Flour Mills, and that is the producer of some of the flour we use and all that. So it's in the consumer goods industry, that's the food you eat. So as of January, Honeywell was at 6 naira 9 kobo, while currently it is at 21 naira 9 kobo. It has done over 400% increase in the past 1 year. If you had invested 100,000 naira alone in Honeywell Flour Mills, you would have been sitting at over 300,000 naira. That is triple of your initial investment just from January to November. The final company I'll be talking about is Okomu Oil, and they are a producer of cooking oil and palm products, and they have had an increase of 228% in just the past year alone. So at January, their share price was at 444 naira per one share, and currently it is at 1,110 naira. So if you had invested 100,000 naira in Okomu Oil, you would have gotten over double your money, because now you would have had a profit of about 150,000 naira. So you would have made a total of 250. That's your initial investment of 100,000 plus your profit of 150,000. And this is just if you only invested only 100,000 alone. So if you had invested more, your money would have been more. So if you had invested 100,000 naira each in these 5 companies at the beginning of 2025, you would have been sitting on over 1.38 million naira just from the brands you use daily. There are many more companies like this in the Nigerian stock exchange that saw massive growth in 2025 alone, and you could have been a partaker of it if you had the right knowledge. As the year rounds up, this is the time to start taking your finances very seriously. And as 2026 is coming, the best investment you can make is in yourself. That's why I highly recommend you signing up for this course. It is a course I'm also taking. I also paid for it. This course will be a very good help to you. So don't forget, sign up with the link in the description, and you can also book a one-on-one session with the coach, and also order a wealth tracker journal so that you can track your finances. This is just the perfect way to round up your year. Instead of spending that money during 30 December, invest that money into yourself. Invest that money into making the right decisions for your finances and for yourself. And that's all for this video. If you found this video helpful and insightful, send it to somebody that you know will learn. Like the video, comment, and let me know, did you invest in any of these 5 companies I mentioned, and did you see a massive return of your investment? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.